Good evening, my Trues Clues aficionados. I hope you're staying safe out there, especially when you're out there doing your holidaying. I live in the mountains and go down into the city to get real stuff done and to see my family. Act like it's far. It's about an hour down the road. But it's a whole other world to me now. Oh my gosh, just being in the parking lot, driving there, going through the store, finding that they don't have what I want is just soul sucking. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to do it anymore. I think part of it is I insulated myself and did a lot of, mail order delivery. Loved it. But then I think it put me out of sorts too. I'm kind of behind on some crap because I kept thinking I had so much time to do everything. Now all of a sudden it's here. No snow. Feels really weird. But anyway, enough of my personal life. I hope that you guys are doing good out there. You know I love you all and hope that you're being safe. And let's get started to part 2 of Plastic in Florida. And this part is the butt injection portion. And silicone injection in the buttocks is what I'm talking about. And they call it butt pumping in a lot of areas. And because a lot of the times where this goes on, it's just a cultural thing. Because you want to get your groove on, get your twerk on, be nice and shapely, or maybe even be an influencer. Because a full curvy bottom has become increasingly fashionable and desirable for many women, buttocks augmentation surgery has been on the rise in recent years. In fact, according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, it is amongst the fastest growing cosmetic surgery procedure. Unfortunately, any procedure performed in unsanitary conditions with unregulated products can result in dangerous side effects and even death. Especially with the one we've been talking about, the Brazilian buttock lift. It's called the BBL for short. Experts say the demands for BBLs has gotten so high, some unscrupulous and unqualified people are now trying to cash in on the cash train, offering black market butt lifts injections to women at discount prices. And of course, that's going to be the crowd that can afford it and is going to try to squeeze it in because they're in search of the ultimate figure. And maybe they work out, maybe they don't, but they definitely think this enhancement is going to help. We're talking about a procedure that is not being done by a doctor, being done by an unlicensed professional in an unsterile manner. I had mentioned that Cardi B had about in the first show that we did when we were talking about unscrupulous facilities. This one is different. You go to a party or something like that, and I thought of Cardi B because she did line of business where that would have been important to her to get more money. And as I did a little more research, I found out that she had done a GQ interview that a lot of people said kudos on. But she's straight up, which I do like that about her. She can be straight up about a lot of things. She had found out that there was a place that she could go to get the butt injections for $800. For a woman to inject her rear end with fillers, and then she went back to scheduled touch-ups. She learned that the injector had been jailed after someone died on her table. And this is one of the things she had to say. They don't numb your ass with anything. It was the craziest pain I ever felt. I felt like I was going to pass out. I felt dizzy, and it leaks for like 5 days. There was a Dr. Williams who wrote an article in response to what he had seen in the interview. And post-op description, he says, sounds medically terrifying. A non-sterile environment without appropriate equipment or staff being injected with who knows what. Only physicians and mid-level providers can legally prescribe things like filler or Botox. Draining wounds with no follow-up because your provider is in jail for allegedly killing someone with the very same treatment you got is not ideal. Not that you have to hear that from a doctor, but even women knowing these risks are wanting to get in there and get their stuff done. And gosh, ladies, save some money or, take out a loan. I don't know. I definitely think that your life is not worth risking this. And I don't know, back in the day, Fredericks used to provide padding and everything, but I guess it's kind of hard now because people wear the T-bar, G-strings and stuff and have the butt cheeks hanging out. Illegal injections may have no medical background and illegal injectors, may have no medical background and use materials that are not FDA approved. Reconstructive surgery and healthcare to correct complications can even rack up a high price tag. Illegal injectors often vanish, frequently relocating their illegal practices in order to avoid being caught. They don't care what they're putting in your ass. They're collecting cash up front and, putting whatever in there and then moving you on your way. And if you have complications from that, good luck to finding them. In addition to the risk of infection, injectable substances sold illegally to unlicensed individuals may result in chronic pain, scarring, hardened scar tissue, a weakened immune system, pneumonia, chronic swelling, numbness, and even death. The liquid silicone used in many injections can permeate the lungs, causing innumerable health issues. As a result, in many cases, it is necessary to remove the injected silicone, which is extremely difficult and costly. While the results of these injections may be immediate, in most cases the trouble that follows in almost all injections is immediate and never worth it. If you are considering butt injections or augmentation surgery, do not be persuaded. Again, do not be persuaded by inexpensive black market injectors. Do not be persuaded by inexpensive black market injectors. Your long-term health is much more important than the potential short-term aesthetic improvement. I know that's hard to say to people who are young and think they got their whole life to get out there and do it, or think, hey, it happens to other people, not to you. Yes, it can happen to you. In January, a Bronx woman, Waleska Castillo, was charged with homicide after Lesbia Ayala, 48, died December 2018 following an unsanctioned procedure. And I'm not sure if I'm saying Lesbia's name correctly. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. Just trying to get the information out there. The medical examiner ruled that Ayala, who suffered a heart attack at Castillo's Castle Hill home, had died of systemic silicone embolism syndrome due to cosmetic silicone injections of buttocks and thighs. Castillo is now awaiting trial. Castillo had previously been arrested in 2011 for injecting illegal silicone at $1,000 per treatment and sealing the wounds with crazy glue, like WTF, crazy glue. After serving a year in jail, she was busted again in 2012. Dr. Mir, who is a well-known associate in this industry, estimates that there are around 1,000 Americans with dangerous injections that need removal. His patients have typically been injected by unlicensed, unregulated practitioners. often with no medical training, in their own home or at the injector's home, paying $15,000 or so for a plumped bottom. Most have experienced pain, exhaustion, a weakened immune system, and immobility. But sometimes it's not until years after the enhancements, the hush-hush nature of these underground procedures means it is largely a word-of-mouth business, with clients telling friends who tell their friends and so on and so forth. But that can also lead to a lack of sharing information that could share lives. The problem is that people who are using silicone jelly, and it's not even medical grade, he said, often it's bought at hardware stores. That means that they're using what you use to caulk your damn bathroom to caulk your butt with. Oh my God. No. I can't even... You shouldn't even have to be told how wrong that could be. And then if that affects your immune system, even if you survive it and you don't have the scarring, you're fucked up for the rest of your life. I think having good health overall is better than anything that you could do like that. But people are going to make their own decisions in the end. Castillo and other people like her are out there just waiting for you to have a body issue problem so they can jump on you like a cat on a mouse. If it is injected into fat, the fat will turn hard and even calcify. This is the silicone that they use in the bathrooms, leading to distortion of the surrounding area. If it is injected into the muscle becomes hard and scarred, which leads to motor and movement issues. Alicia, 37-year-old from Essex County, New Jersey, started to feel ill immediately after receiving injections in a stranger's home in 2010. She was told by the woman that the substance was medical-grade hydrogel and later learned it was liquid silicone. Because you can't see what the hell they're putting in your ass. Just like you trust a guy to do what he says. My lower extremities are disfigured, Alicia said. I have scars on my calves and my ankles are always in pain. It's hard to walk. It's hard to stand. It's hard to lie down. Her high heels are never to be worn again, and she has resigned herself to a life of baggy pants. But Alicia added she knows she's lucky to be alive. Fucking A. When you're trying so hard to get fashionable and you end up with no fashion at all. Black market butt injections can lead to numerous complications in a woman's life, namely infection, sepsis, which is a blood infection, chronic pain, inflammation, cosmetic deformities. You think you had problems with your butt before? Whoa, some of the pictures I've seen, you ain't never going to be showing your ass again. Change of sensation in the arms or legs, tissue degeneration, necrosis, death of tissue. There was a transgender person I read about that had that very same thing to happen. I mean, pieces of dead skin falling off your ass. In 2016, newlyweds Marco and Carissa moved to Los Angeles seeking sunny skies and the chance for a happy life together. The couple had just gone through a miscarriage, and Marco hoped that the pleasant climate would help Clarissa's depression. She was very weather dependent, he says. She always needed sunlight and warmth. She started having cosmetic surgeries, plumping her lips, and soon afterward her butt. On October 15, 2019, Carissa Rajpal invited two women, Liddy Adame, 51, and her daughter Alicia Galaz, 23, to a friend's home for a buttocks augmentation procedure. That friend, who spoke to Rolling Stone on the condition of anonymity, said he and Carissa had met on Instagram and had taken a few dates before that day. He also said he tried to talk Carissa out of going through the injections, making her promise that she would only have an evaluation, not the procedure, at his house. I told her, Look, you're doing something very dangerous, something you should do only with doctors supervising in a medical room or a hospital. And with that, he went ahead and let her have the appointment. She told me, "Oh no, don't worry. I already did it twice." I'm like, what the fuck? Are you crazy? At 2 p.m., and the ladies arrived and took Carissa into the bedroom where they proceeded to inject what the police would later describe as uncontained liquid silicone into Carissa's buttocks, piercing the muscle and entering her bloodstream. Around 30 minutes later, according to an official report, Adami and Galaz yelled for the host to bring a glass of sugar water, and he entered the room to see Carissa sitting on the bed, pale and struggling for breath. In his telling, he went to check on her and found her close to fainting. "Look, you guys, you should take her to the hospital." They were like, "Oh no, she'll be fine." Of course, she wasn't fine. She wasn't even responding. She looked very low. When she started passing out, I gave her mouth to mouth. I yelled, "Call 911. You need to call 911 right now. This is crazy. You're fucking insane." The woman did finally call 911, he said, and opened the gate for the paramedics before leaving the property. Emergency medical staff intubated Carissa and attempted to stabilize her blood pressure. Less than 3 hours after getting the injections, Carissa was pronounced dead. She was 26 years old. The medical examiner found silicone oozing from her puncture wounds internally in the muscle of her buttocks. The autopsy report said she had died from acute cardiopulmonary dysfunction caused by the fucking silicone injections. It is determined to be the manner of death and determined to be homicide. In September, nearly 2 years after her death, the Los Angeles Police Department announced that Adami and Galaz had been charged with Carissa Rajpal's murder, as well as 3 felony counts of practicing medicine without certification. Authorities say they recovered tens of thousands of dollars in cash from a search warrant executed by the two women's home. At the two women's home. According to the medical records obtained by Rolling Stones, as well as a half a dozen on the record sources, Carissa was far from the only person who Adami and Galaz harmed with their procedures. Below-board injection outfits have drawn minimal criminal charges and jail sentence in recent years. The 2014 Mississippi woman Tracy Lynn Garner was sentenced to life in prison for depraved heart murder in the death of Karima Gordon, a Georgia woman on whom she performed illegal silicone injections after a third person referred Gordon to her, saying that Garner was a nurse when she actually had no medical training. Garner has since died in prison. In Philadelphia, Paige Victoria Winslow, who calls herself the Black Madam, got 10 to 20 year prison sentence in 2015 for third-degree murder in the death of the 20-year-old British woman whose heart stopped after being injected with nearly half a fucking gallon of silicone. Winslow, who charged $15,000 to $18,000 for her procedures, claimed during her trial that she got into... Oh, I just lost my place from my notes here. That she had gotten into... The woman who did the injections claims that she got into the business to help fellow transgender people the way injections had helped her. In 2017, a Miami woman, O'Neill Ron Morris, got 10 years in prison for injecting customers' buttocks with a mixture of cement, mineral oil, super glue, and Fix-A-Flat. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Oh my God. Plastic surgeons are not thrilled to take care of these things, he says, not because they don't care about the patients, but unfortunately, if you have this procedure done by someone else, then you go to the emergency room and you get a plastic surgeon, and now you're that plastic surgeon's patient. Guess who gets sued? Adame has had a reputation as a prominent figure in the local party scene. She has had more than 11,000 followers on her private Instagram account. She is nicknamed La Tia, which is the aunt, and favors dresses that hug her exaggerated hourglass curves. She wears her long dark hair parted in the middle, cascading over her shoulders. Moreno says that in early 2014, she went to go see Adame, who some women she knew had already visited, which made her more comfortable. She met with her at a beauty salon, she says, where Adame charged her $2,000 or $3,000, as she recalls, injected her glutes with what she told Moreno were stem cells. The term made Moreno feel safe. Of course. Like nothing bad was going into her body. The first visit, everything felt fine. After Moreno went back to the salon for a second treatment performed by one of Adame's colleagues, however, her left leg started hurting. The pain was getting worse and worse and worse, she says, so she went back a third time. See Adame again. I told her I was feeling bad and my leg was hurting. She injected me with something that she said was for the pain and for the infection if I had something. She met her then girlfriend for a meal. In the restaurant, she suddenly felt sick, very sick. I didn't even eat because I started throwing up everything and wanted to go to the bathroom, and nothing was in my body, she says. As they hurried to leave the restaurant, she nearly fainted. I saw everything went black. Her girlfriend helped her to the second floor apartment. I don't like hospitals. I don't like doctors. So I'm like, no, it's okay. It's going to pass. But it didn't pass. I was just getting worse. She was asking for blankets because she felt cold, then ripped off the layers, and minutes later, sweating and asking for fresh air. She was in and out of the bathroom, evacuating everything inside of her. By the time she agreed to go to the hospital, a neighbor had to carry her downstairs to her car. On the drive, Moreno felt drowsy, but her girlfriend begged her not to close her eyes. She was admitted to the hospital in septic shock. Oh my God, guys. Just recently, Jocelyn Cano, believed to have died on December 7th during a Brazilian butt lift in Colombia. News of the 29-year-old's death shared on Twitter by fellow influencer Lyra Mercer. The model's family has yet to confirm her death, but people are sharing condolences. And if you're looking at the videos I have there, you can see what looks to be going on is her funeral. So with all of that being said, I can only please beg you to think about something that you're doing like that, maybe even longer than you think about getting a tattoo. I have one tiny tattoo, and I thought about it for probably 12 years before I got it. I'm not necessarily saying that you have to wait that long, but something that you're going to do to your body that's going to have the rest of your life consequences deserves a lot of thought over a lot of time. Because people change over time. The person that you are as a young person is no longer who you are when you're recovered from your divorce. You don't feel that need to have to improve yourself anymore. And there's ways to improve yourself and be healthy. I'm not saying that you're going to get the Kim Kardashian or J-Lo butt, but it could definitely be bigger, firmer butt for you. And a few of the things I looked up were like glute bridge, jumping squats, walking lunge, single leg deadlift, clamshell, which I don't know what that is, banded sidestep donkey kicks. Now I know that shit's gonna work. weight training. I don't know if that walking lunge, I think walking the lunge backwards used to work for me quite well too, because I do like to kind of stay in shape. As with most body parts, rear ends can come in all shapes and sizes. Some are naturally larger and curvier than others. If your backside is on the smaller side, you want to make it bigger or more shapely, there's ways to go about this. If you want immediate results, shapewear can help give your bum an instant lift. A costlier but more permanent solution involves cosmetic procedures like butt implants or lips. Many types of exercises and workouts can also help boost the size, shape, and firmness of your booty. And it takes time and patience to see results. If you're unsure of what types of exercise will work best for you for shaping and firming your booty, be sure to talk to a personal certified counselor. I mean, it would behoove you to at least look into it. I mean, what if your booty came out beautiful just from doing exercises? And, wearing a little tighter lingerie underneath or something like that. Now, if you're a dancer or you're out there on the beach running like, the Brazilians doing your butts hanging out, I guess that's all up to you. All I can say is my best wishes to you. Be careful. Remember to check a board certified anything and stay out of those butt injection parties. Don't go to no hotel rooms. Don't go to nobody's house. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do the time. And in the meantime, I got big butts that I can't deny. Y'all have a happy Christmas. Talk to you later.